big updates. The motor's in. Got most of the front on. It's up to the point where the radiator isn't completely plugged in. So, but all the fuel rails connected. Engine's got oil, gearbox got oil, diff's got oil. The most of it's there. I think if I just connect the radiator and the heater hoses at the back, then that'll be completely done. And a little bit of touching up on the power steering lines. Besides that, it is at the point where I can put some petrol in the back. Over here. Here's the fuel cell. So I've got it connected up here to the outside fuel filler. Comes in, fill up in there. So there's a cover that goes on the top of this. That's all enclosed later. But this is the first test to see if it can start. First start. So let's see. And the exhaust isn't on fully, it's just down to here, just to the catalytic converters, and stops here. So it's going to be very loud because the rest of the exhaust isn't on. It's most of it's sitting here, and then the rear mufflers need to connect to that. So put some petrol in. See if it starts. So I've done all the wiring from scratch, all the computer, the whole body loom is all new, all the relays, all the switches, every single switch on here, new plugs, new wires, everything. There's only a couple more switches to put in, just some accessories like the antenna switch, red defroster glass. I'll put that in the center console here. So I'll clean up these wires. These wires are for accessories, but the rest of this all done. If you look in here, it's a bit dark. There's fuse boxes, relays up the top, more relays here, and behind these fuse boxes there's the computer runs the engine. Even more body loom fuses here, an old style ignition coil. I needed that so it could still run the original tacho, which has been modified for a V8 pulse. So this is all untested, so now's the time to test it, see if it works. So because this is the very first time I put fuel in it, there's no fuels in the lines and the radiator hasn't been connected, so I can't run it for long, only a few seconds. But because there's no fuel in the lines, I'm going to have to prime it a couple of times before it would have enough fuel to start in the engine area, or into the injectors. So I might turn it off and on a few times for the fuel pump to prime, and then go over to the starter, see if it starts. This is a little different though, because I got different intake with a different injectors running off the standard computer. So did a bit of research, and these injectors still match the same specifications as the original ones, besides just being, I think, about 50 cc's more. So there's only a small difference. It's exciting. This has been many years in the making to get to this point. Okay, here's a leak. Found a leak in the top, so I'm not going to start until, but it's good that petrol is starting to get up there. I also have to check I've got an aftermarket adjustable fuel regulator. I have to check the pressure on that too. That's right before starting. So a lot of checks before you actually turn the key to try and start it. Okay, so I've pulled the fuel pump out, and I think I've found my problem. Brought it over here. You can see you can fit up to 3 fuel pumps onto it. I'm just using one, so then the other 2 you have to block off. Then what I've done is, and I can't believe I didn't pick this up before, is I've used the block offs here, right, but the fitting is still very loose. There's a bit of bit of play there, and I reckon it's enough that the fuel will come when it pumps up the pump, comes into this area, and then because that isn't tight, it's just losing pressure at the sides, and this one too. So two of them is not actually blocking off the pressure from this pump to go to the engine. So I think if I just unscrew here and take this fitting off and put this bung actually right in the end here, hopefully it's the same thread size, I think it is, that will reduce that little gap there. So I'll put this end cap here in here and try again. I think that should work. So I've taken these off now. I bought this many years ago, probably over 5 years ago, so I couldn't remember what I'd done with it, and just opened it for the first time since then, just now. Fuel pump's back in, so now I just need to turn the power back on at the front, see if I get fuel pressure. Power's on, so I want to see it get more than 10. Then I know I changed something, but really I need to get it up to 43, and I might need to adjust it. So let's see, I got my Allen key here, put this to adjust it. It's got to fix it. Yes, look at that. Whew, maxed out. Okay, too much pressure, so undo. I'll just adjust this, play around with this for a bit. So there you go. Don't block off those little bungs with still the joins on them. You got to direct block them off. Bit of mucking around. I've got fuel pressure now. It's at 43 psi when the pump primes it. So now the next thing to do is try and start it again. Fire extinguisher just over here, ready, because we're playing with fire now. Here we go. No signs of firing yet, but it does have fuel pressure. So next thing is to know if it has spark. Alright, it's late at night, maybe past 7 o'clock, so I only have like an hour left to try and start this car before it's too late. But I had a bit of thinking. I've got fuel, last time I got fuel pressure now, that's all good, but then there's no ignition. I don't know, I wasn't sure if there's any spark. I didn't take the spark plugs out or anything. I tested if there was ignition power getting to the coils, and there wasn't, so I backtracked the wires to see where it wasn't plugged in, and sure enough I found that I forgot to tap the ignition source into, first it goes from the ignition barrel into the original tacho, back out, and then to the coils. So I just forgot I had all the lines going to the coils from the tacho, but just not ignition to the tacho, and that feeds everything. That's the beginning point to where it ends up at the ignition coils and the spark plugs. So I've just wired that in, tested. I do have power there now, so this is this could be it. I think this is it. It's going to start. Oh, it works! It works! I've never started this engine since I bought it like over 7 years ago, and it works, and it ran really well, like just idled like straight away. So oh, I'm so glad. It's just that fuel pressure, full pressure from the pumps, and now the ignition source going to the engine, and it starts. I can't believe it. I didn't want to run it too long because I don't have coolant in it, but it does have oil and everything. So yeah, I can't believe it just started. It started with the whole Porsche intake thing, everything. Oh, I can't believe it. That's awesome. Okay. Success everyone.